is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis, I'm going. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with my All NBA first, second, and third team for the 2019-2020 season. This was a tough list, and it's real tough. It took me a while. There's going to be some controversy for some of these players, but this is just my own personal list. If you have your own list, I do check every comment. So I will be looking forward to see what you guys say, whether you say it or not. I still look forward to seeing if you decide to post it. But other than that, I'm going to start with the first team. And this is a team that's going to be controversial, but I'm going to break it down why I picked these players. For the guards, I had James Harden and Luka Doncic. I feel like Luka has been spectacular. Don't really have to say much about him just because he's been one of the best players in the world this whole entire season. And that hasn't changed even when he came back. His numbers dipped a little bit, but he still was in the MVP conversation for majority of the season, which means he should be all NBA first team. Plus, I don't really have another guard that will I pick over him outside of James Harden, who I have James Harden as the other guard, which he was a 34-point scorer, gave you the assists, gave you the rebounds, and kept the Houston Rockets in contention, even though they start falling off a little bit of late. All I can really say is his play has been dominant in the beginning. It teetered off a little bit throughout the season, but when you look at the numbers and you look at what the Rockets at right now, you still have to give Harden a lot of credit for what he was able to do this season, even with the changes and even with adjusting to Westbrook. They still was able to get it done to a certain extent this year. LeBron for the forward, people say he's a guard, but they still list him as a forward. He plays point guard when he's on the court, but when he starts, most of the time they call him a small forward still. So I put LeBron. He was going to be in one of the guard spots, but since I'm going to put him as a forward, he's still in the top for that. The other one is Giannis. Giannis Antetokounmpo. This is the guy that's going to be the MVP even if the season don't stop. And if it do stop, he's going to be MVP regardless. So all I can say is, if you're the MVP of the league for back-to-back years, you was on All NBA last year, you should be on All NBA this year. And for the center, y'all already know is Nikola Jokic. For the second team, I got Video Game Dame. His numbers, like I said, he had a chance to make it All NBA first team again because I thought Steph would definitely be on his list. But since he missed so many games and Dame played spectacular, he was playing good all season and he upped it up a little bit. But at the same time, he gets a second team for me. Chris Paul, this is one that people might not like or disagree. His impact on the team has been enormous. Closing games for them, taking care of the ball, making sure everybody eats, making sure everybody get the chance to score and do their things, and knowing where his teammates on the court and knowing how to utilize them to create shots for himself at an advanced age. He was an all-star for a reason. He's been efficient for his age and the fact that he isn't the fastest guy anymore. He isn't the tallest guy anymore, especially at the point guard position. But he's still getting it done, not making excuses and playing hard. I loved him at the All-Star game. I was at the All-Star game, and I would have voted for him to be the All-Star MVP, the way he played defense and the competitive nature that he brought. But also the fact that he just kept coming, and he still does that to this day. And it's good to see that he's back on the All-NBA team. Some people might not have him second team. They might have him third. But Chris Paul, when I look at the numbers and the success that the Thunder has had, a lot of it goes to Chris Paul and his teammates and the coaching staff. So number three, Kawhi Leonard. He got hot a little later. His defense was good, but I feel like Kawhi Leonard, him missing the games with the sit out, but also him, he started getting stronger as the season went on. I feel like Giannis and LeBron started off great and they just stayed there. Yeah, Kawhi Leonard started catching up and doing some stuff. Like, okay, I like what you're doing. I like what I'm seeing, but this is the whole season. I had Giannis and LeBron as my forwards in the 1 and 2 in the MVP race. If they the 1 and the 2 in the MVP race, then guess what? He's not going to be first team because they both play the same forward position. You only got 2 spots for that. So he's not going to make it on my first team. The numbers are outstanding, but they grew as the season kept going on. While Giannis stayed dominant and LeBron stayed consistently behind him, Kawhi Leonard had to fall to 3, and second team, and I don't regret that decision. AD, I wanted to put him on first team, but he hasn't had the same season as LeBron and Giannis to knock them down. He's on their level, obviously, when you look at the numbers and you look at his impact on the game. But I feel like him missing some games and him kind of teetering every once in a while. It was hard to drop him. I really wanted to put him on my first team, but I got LeBron and Giannis over him, so he's gonna be my other forward. And Joel Embiid, I'm not the biggest Joel Embiid fan, but when I look at the center position this year, it's really only Jokic and Embiid and the other guy I'm gonna name on the other list for third team, and that's it. You can add Bam, who didn't make my list, and I wanted to put him on there, but at the end of the day, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't put Vucevic. He has numbers, but his team isn't as good as these other players' teams are. And Embiid has had the numbers and he has had the team success. The only problem is he still can't stay healthy, and I don't trust him in the playoffs. And those two things he haven't proven me wrong on. So the question is always going to be there. Third team, I got Russell. I'm not a big Russell Westbrook fan, but I had him on my All-Star team when a lot of people didn't, and I have him again, All NBA third team, just like I had him last year. He did just enough to squeak past Bradley Beal and Trae Young, just because he has an overall impact with the assists, with the scoring, with the rebounding. Plus, he upped his game and his efficiency higher than them. So Russ, his 3-point shooting ain't there, but he found other ways to be effective. So I put him on third team. I actually put Bill over Trae Young just because he just been fantastic, and his team is terrible. But Trae Young team ain't that good either. But Bill, for him to be averaging 30, and the fact that he missed the All Star game and he just been on a rampage ever since. Plus, he was already having an All Star caliber season before he even got um, to this rampage he's been going on the last couple of weeks. Now it's kind of sad to see him stop playing because I actually wanted to see what Bill was going to do as the season continued to go on. But now since it's maybe canceled, all I can really say is he worked hard. He didn't get on my he didn't make the All Star team, but hopefully they give him the All NBA third team over other guys at that guard position. The other forwards position was difficult. I had Ingram in there. I had Tatum. I didn't really have him in there because he only got hot for a couple weeks. He didn't do it for the whole entire season. So he really was in contention, but I really wasn't gonna put him and Ingram in there just because Pascal and Chris Middleton been there the whole entire season. Middleton did it with efficiency. Brandon Ingram and them score more points, but they're not as efficient and not as effective. And then I look at Pascal Siakam. He led that team defensively to one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. And all I can say is for him to defend the way he's been defending and for him to be able to give you 20 points and 10 boards plus get the assists, they need him to do a lot because they rely on him. They paid him his money. They gave him the opportunity. He took advantage of it. He didn't disappoint. Became an all-star this year. And a lot of people might not agree, but I actually do have him making my all-NBA third team just because of his versatility and his ability to step up. They lost Kawhi Leonard, they lost DeMar DeRozan, and they still afloat as the second seed in the Eastern Conference, and Siakam has a lot to do with that. And 5, Gobert. Y'all already know I'm a Gobert guy. He fell off a little bit as the season kept going, but like I said, we judging the entire season. Gobert was to me was defensive player of the year basically the entire season. And people started saying, "Oh, Brook Lopez and Anthony Davis," and like, yeah, they're great. They're in contention, but Gobert has did it for basically the entire season. I had Gobert as the winner for this season. I wanted to go with Giannis as Defensive Player of the Year when the season started. But as the season kept going on, Gobert stood out the most. Even though his team fell down a little bit, I got to give him credit for majority of the season. He was Defensive Player of the Year. Just because he fell off 2-3 weeks don't mean he shouldn't be. And there's no other center that has been, even Brook Lopez and the Bucks came back to earth. And their defense kind of faltered too as they went on these last 3 weeks too. And then you look at AD. AD was spectacular, but he isn't the defender that Gobert is right now. And Bam, there was a tough decision between him or Gobert, but I had to go with Gobert in general because he's their primary anchor and their primary defender, and he's the best reason why. And of course, you got to give credit to Quinn Snyder for implementing the system, but Gobert does a good job of protecting the paint and still crashing the boards. He deserved his All-Star appearance, and I'm happy to give him my All-NBA third team spot over all the other centers that's remaining. Towns didn't count because he missed so many games. I almost didn't want to count Joel Embiid, but when I look at the numbers and I look at the impact, those are the 3 centers that I went with, and Jokic was the one I put on first team. But other than that, let me know what you guys think about the All NBA teams. Who your first, second, or third team? What I got wrong? What I got right? What you disagree with? Because this is all just my opinion and how I look at the season, how I look at players and their impact. And some of them are questionable. Some of them you probably wouldn't agree with. But then again, I like my list for what it is and how these guys have played, and I try to be fair with it. But other than that, I'm gone. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for everybody that likes on Facebook. Thanks for everybody that likes the video. Thanks for everybody that bought merchandise and continue to buy it. Check out my spread shirt. There you can find a lot of merchandise on the spread shirt. Not only that, you can also find on my Facebook page, I do sell merchandise like t-shirts. You can find those in the color. You can change the color of the shirt. You can change the color of the logo, and I can get it shipped out to you. And other than that, if you want anything else, this is all I can give you for today. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and enjoyed this team. It took me a while to figure out these teams, but when I look at the team and on this paper, I feel pretty confident that you guys will like it too. But like I said, if you disagree, leave it in the comment section below. And at the end of the day, I'm gone. Quinn Wade, basketball analysis. I'm signing out.